Today, I really would like to show you my finished objects of those past weeks and also what I'm working on. I have sewing projects in the work. Of course, I have got some things on my needles, and I would love to talk to you about my knitting plans and the bit more abstract and vague sewing plans.
It's yarn over heels, so grab a seat. Let's make together, stitch and repeat. With Mel to chat and share what's new. A handmade life just right for you.
Hi, I'm Mel, and this is Yarn Over Heels, your sewing and knitting podcast, featuring just stitches, stories, and a cozy chat about all things handmade. I just made myself a fresh cup of coffee. Welcome back, lovely people, to episode number 2 of my making podcast. I can't wait to chat with you today. Let me take a quick sip. So before we get started, I wanted to tell you what I'm wearing today. This is the Ingrid sweater by Petite Knit, and it is knit up in Isager Jensen yarn and the Sandnes Tin Silk mohair, if I'm not completely mistaken. And my tiny scarf. This is the Soul Sister scarf by Sari Nordlund in the smallest size. I think there are 2 or 3. It's anyways the smallest one, and I knit it up in Cardiff cashmere. If I'm not completely mistaken, I'm still not so much better at doing notes beforehand, am I? Well, I will look it up and I can pop it on the screen, right? So that's what I'm wearing today. Let's get started with my finished objects. So I already gave you a little sneak peek of this lovely beanie. It's the Archer beanie by Sari Nordlund. It's a ribbed beanie and very cozy and squishy, and also it's got a double folded brim, so it's quite a long beanie. And let me very quickly pull up my project notes on Ravelry. You know what? I was thinking about taking notes, but I do not own a private notebook or iPad, and I am not going to use my company-owned equipment for that kind of stuff. So it was basically me taking notes on paper with a pen, and I was like, no, not happening. Also not helpful. I just thought, why not read from your Ravelry projects directly? And that's what I'm gonna do. So, long story short, the Archer beanie. I should tell you that's already the second time I made it. The first one was a fail. We'll get to that in a second. This one, it took me about a month to knit up. 3 weeks, let's say 3 weeks. Okay. It is knit up in size 3 and on 3.5 millimeter needles in Isager Highland wool in the color wine, and I combined it with the Sandnes Tin Silk mohair. That was a colorway they discontinued, and I found it somewhere being totally on sale. And to be honest, back when I ordered it, I was expecting a completely different color. That was way before Bordeaux and these deep wine red colors were on trend. And the yarn arrived and I was like, no way, that wasn't that wasn't the color I wanted. So it was sitting in my yarn stash, and now it just was so perfect to pair it with the Highland wool. I love it. It's really nice and squishy, fits me well. I think I will try and do a full body shot later on to show you. Yeah, it really was lovely, but I couldn't tell you the color of the tin silk mohair, unfortunately. But to be honest, it's discontinued, so it would do you no use, I guess. And let me show you the second Archer beanie. This was my first one, and it is lovely. I mean, I love it so much. It is so cozy. Oh, sorry, that probably... I was squishing the microphone. I love it. I mean, I truly do. The yarn did not behave as I expected it to in a beanie, a ribbed beanie. This is the Lang Yarns Alpaca Socks. I think the 6-ply. I think. Not sure. Probably. Well, anyways, the yarn does not work for beanies. You wear it twice. It's a super wash. I think it even has some nylon in it. And honestly, you wear it for an hour and it like grows immensely. It is a ridiculously massive beanie within matters of hours. So it's a real bummer because I wanted a dark grey charcoal beanie, and yeah, didn't work out. So, but never mind, made another one, and I will at some point make myself a grey one as well. But yeah, that was really a bummer. Oh, I still love it so much. I should probably unravel it, right? But I am the slowest knitter you will ever meet, like painfully slow. So I am not quick to unravel anything. That is just like, it hurts my soul so much. I occasionally do, but I really hate it. And I am also not a process knitter. Not really. I want the finished product. I want this hat. And I do like knitting, but it's not like, it wouldn't make me happy to just knit away, and never have the finished project. Like, there are some people who say, if I was stranded on an island with just some knitting needles and a ball of yarn, I would happily knit for the rest of my life and just unravel, knit again, unravel, knit again. That's not me. Okay, so that was my Archer beanie. But as I already let you know in my last podcast, it comes as a set. So I made a matching Solange scarf, and let me try and show you again the color. It's not, the closer I hold it, the worse the color gets. I feel like closer to my skin, it looks more the way it really is. Yeah, well, we can live with that, can't we? So it has this lovely texture. I really loved working on it, although I oftentimes struggle a bit with scarves. I don't know what it is about scarves. It's sometimes really hard for me to just get them done. Well, I will probably just have to find the right scarf pattern, or I don't know. But I love having them, and this is so lovely and squishy. And let me pull up my Ravelry notes. It's the Solange Scarf by Anne Wenzel, and let me see. So the yarn I used was the same as for my Archer beanie, the tin silk mohair. That was the same one. And what really made me knit this scarf was I visited my local yarn shop, and it's a lovely yarn shop. It really is. Unfortunately, it's not really close to me, so I don't drop by too often, which is probably good, because that way I can't just hog yarn like crazy. But I was there and I saw that color changing yarn. It is Laine du Nord, excuse my French, Poema luxury line, and it has a subtle color change. I will try to show you. So on one end it's kind of black, and it shifts to brown and ends with just this Bordeaux color. And this end tip is really close to the Archer beanie. And as I paired it with the tin silk mohair, the fade is really subtle. So if I hold it up next to each other, it is very subtle, but I love it. So that still is, it was just a bit of interest knitting it up with seeing how the color changes. And also what I liked about it, I was able to use up all of it. I weighed my really big ball of yarn, it was a big one, and as soon as I was finished with the tip increases, and then once I reached, I only had that amount of yarn left, I started my decreases. So I've got almost nothing left. Yeah, the Solange Scarf. Oh, I could do, you know what, inspired by Fiona from Nord Knits, I will put the things I have shown you here. Why not? So you can still see what we've been talking about. So my Solange scarf and my Archer beanie also. I wanted to show you, this was finished before it, just right before Christmas. So that is already a month in the past. But one thing you have to know about myself, as I said, I am a really slow knitter for one thing, like really slow. Oh my, yeah. Rolling with the bloopers. Okay, so I am really slow, and also I try to be conscious about how much I knit and sew. It has to match my demand. I am not a huge gift knitter or sewist seamstress. I have to say, most of all, I really enjoy to make for myself, achieve a perfect fit, a piece that fits right in with my wardrobe, something I love to wear, and just, yeah, it's a big part of the joy I get out of making is using it then and seeing how it behaves in my, I don't know, just wardrobe cycle. And yeah, that's why I do not love to make for others. There are some knit-worthy and sew-worthy people in my family, and my kids love it if I make stuff for them. My mom and sister as well. My dad loves my sewn beanies, yeah, but I will do it, but mostly I make for myself. But I try to pace myself, and this is why my makes will sometimes go back quite a bit. So, finished December make, the Esther Jacket by Petite Net, and as you can, is it zooming in? I think it is. And you will see with me, you will see a lot of labels. I just adore doing the finishing touches. I really do. I have another one on the hem down here. So here it is. And I will show you this right away because that's just my one of my favorite final steps about my makes. The labels, or also in sewing, binding the neckline. I love it. I wouldn't say, I mean, it's just if you enjoy it, do it. I get so much joy out of seeing it afterwards in my closet with all the little tags and stuff and labels, and it makes my heart happy. Let me tell you about the Esther Jacket. I know I did use the Iceair Highland wool as well, I can tell you as much. It took me, which is actually really good for me, 1.5 months to knit it up, a month and 3 weeks. I made a size XL and on 4.5 millimeter needles, and it is knit up in Cascade 220 in the color Jet and Iceair yarn Highland wool in the color Charcoal. And I truly adore the color. It is beautiful, and also the buttons, they are, I'm also a bit of a button nerd, I have to admit. They are from Atelier Brunette, so that is my Esther Jacket. Let's put it here. So, okay. Oh, you can see it there. Let's put it up there. Okay. There it is, Esther. Okay, that's my finished objects. So I'd say, let me take a sip of my coffee before we move on to what I'm working on. I will show you my sewing makes first. Okay, so they are, well, this one is practically finished. It's the Nepheline Blouse by Vivian Shao. I will show you the lovely label. I just love these labels. I'm sorry, you will see a lot of them. And the color of this fabric is gorgeous. It is a Seersucker. I don't know how to say it in German, and I won't even try in English, but it's a great, let me just back up a little bit. It's a great fabric. It doesn't wrinkle. You basically chuck it in the wash, hang it, and it's ready to go. And I like the pattern. I do. So there was nothing at all wrong with the pattern. It's a very simple, basic shirt, and it has a couple of sleeve options, all very doable. You can also do it with the collar, and all it misses are the buttons. And you know why? This is one of these cases where I have seen this pattern being made so much on Instagram, and it looked so good on other people, and so many makers in their podcast just rock that linen check vibe. And I wanted to have a checkered blouse. And I thought, yeah, I want to make the Nepheline blouse. Knowing full well that this is kind of nothing of it is really my style. Like the quite exaggerated A-line of the body, the wide sleeves. It's a bit a playful, you could probably say. It's not exactly my style. I finished it, I put it on, it didn't feel like me. Not the fabric, not the check, not the pattern, nothing of it. And that is just, yeah, that is what I would basically consider a potential sewing fail if you just, well, if you wrongly assess if you will love it or not. Well, that is, I'd say, really bad luck. Well, yeah, so technically there's nothing wrong with it, but I still have to figure out if I really want to wear it. I don't know, once you've found your style, it is really hard to fit pieces into your wardrobe that just aren't that style. It is, yeah, and that is just, I don't know. Maybe it'll be a fail. I guess I will have to put the buttons in and just see. Or also, I should mention, I already slimmed down the body of the blouse dramatically. Like it was really A-line, swingy A-liney, and I was not having it. That is so not me. And I mean, I should have known, but oh well, you live, you learn. And sometimes you don't, because that is something I have done so many times. You see it somewhere on Pinterest. Pinterest is awful in that regards. You see stuff on other people and it is a whole vibe. And you look at it and you think, oh, that is gorgeous. And then you make it for yourself and it's just a completely different vibe than you are and the rest of your stuff is. And it just clashes. And yeah, I don't know. I'm doing it again and again. And also, this one, sadly, it's a pant, like full-length pants. No way I can get it in that video. It's it already has a lovely little tag and a elasticated waist, and it's the Ethel pants by Stylearc. And you guys, I have heard this before. These, you probably know the bob pants by Stylearc, and a lot of people love to make them, and I bought the Ethel pants and the bob pants at the same time in autumn, because I really am in need of some fancy-ish, kind of fancy-ish loungewear pants. Like not jock pants, not denim or anything fitted, something in between. And I thought the bob pants or Ethel pants could work. And I started out with the Ethel pants, and I am just not rocking the linen vibe as much as I wish I would. I'm a denim girl, I guess, and I just can't make linen work for myself. It is so sad. I couldn't tell you why, but it's just, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable in it. And for whatever reason, and I have given up thinking about it, I just accept it. So typically you would make them in linen. I made them in some, that is a wool knit fabric, some blend, I think. You know what, I have to apologize. I am really the worst about taking notes when it comes to my sewing. I never do. I don't know, the fabric I have, most of the times I don't know where I bought it, what it is. I couldn't tell you exactly. It could be wool, a wool knit blend. It could be a jersey jacquard. I don't know exactly. Anyways, it hasn't got enough drape. It is too structured for these pants. They look ridiculous, like ridiculous. I will probably put them on for you so you see what I mean. I don't know yet what to do with them. It's, kind of sad. Just putting them there. They aren't hemmed yet. I didn't put in the inseam pockets because I've sewn them up, put them on, and I was like, oh no, unwearable. Yeah, it sometimes happens, but it still usually is a bummer. Let's move on to what I'm working on. You've already seen it if you watched my first episode, or at least a bit of it. So there is, for one part, the Soul Sister Scarf by Sari Nordlund. It has a really lovely stitch pattern. And let me check also, before I check it, on Ravelry. This with the Archer beanie, it would make for such a cute set. I really have to make. This is just killing me inside because it looks so perfect. It feels so lovely, and it's not wearable. Oh my. Oh well. Okay, moving on. The Soul Sister Scarf. This one is the same as this one. This is the tiny scarf. This is the regular size. I made it in, it's the bigger size, as I said. I didn't put in the yarn. That can't be true. I knitted on 4mm needles, but as the yarn is still attached, that should be easily solved. Ah yeah, I remember. It's, okay. Oh, I forgot about that. That is so funny. I didn't remember. Yep. That's the yarn I used for the Archer beanie. I forgot. I mean, it is, and now we know it's the 4-ply. Yeah. Okay, now we know. And with the leftovers, I made this scarf. That also explains why it's such a gorgeous match. Oh my goodness. Yep. Okay, now we know why. Ugh. Anyways, as gorgeous as this yarn is in the scarf, didn't work out in the beanie. And I combined it with this yarn, and it's the Isair Alpaca 2. I have it. It's here, and I didn't lie. Isair 2. And I think that is almost done. And also, I do not have a lot of the alpaca socks left, so I will soon start decreasing. Yeah, and my other knitting work in progress. This is the Beatrix Cardigan by Gregoria Fibers, and I made it in a size 4. Started it on January 10th. And so I've been knitting on it for about 5 weeks. And it's got a gauge of 19 stitches, and I'm knitting it on 4mm needles. And as I already told you, I used Isair Tweed and Isair Highland Wool in the colors Autumn and Wine. I didn't want to go full Bordeaux, and that is why I used, let me grab them just a second, why I used, here you go, Isair Tweed, which is I'd say, brown with a bit of Bordeaux in it and other speckles. And I combined it with the Isair Highland Wool in Wine again. And these two make for a really, really lovely color. It's not too Bordeaux. I didn't want that. And yeah, but I have to say, in full honesty, okay, some real talk about this work in progress. As lovely as the details are, like these cables starting on your shoulder, and also that stitch pattern that is very special, and the cables that will go down the front, and the special closures and everything. As lovely as it is, the Isair tweed is really hard on my skin. I sometimes do suffer from eczema, and at the moment I really do. And this yarn, I know it's not the Highland wool, it has to be the Isair tweed. It really, I can't work on it for too long. And also this stitch pattern, slower than slow. That is like knitting in slow motion. It feels like one row takes forever because it's kind of stitch and stitch, and then lift over the yarn over with your left needle. So you're knitting with your right needles, with your left needle. It takes me forever. So I don't know. I guess this is gonna be part of the chatty episodes for a long time. Can't see myself finishing it soon. Yeah, we will see how that goes. So I think we can move on to plans and acquisitions. Just let me take a quick sip. Okay, while I grab my bag with the yarn goodies. Okay, so my, I don't know, kind of commitment for 2025 to myself in regards to knitting was to try out new yarn, new to me yarn, and new designers. And yeah, I mean, I am very, very careful about picking designers, because with sewing I had some terrible experiences with designers and patterns that weren't graded well, pattern pieces not matching up. And if you're spending so much time and money on the fabrics or yarn, of course you want a gorgeous finished project. So I'd say I'm a bit careful about new to me designers. But this year I'm gonna try and find some new options. And this is off to a good start with, well, probably not the Isair alpaca. This is something we've seen a lot, or I've used a lot. They aren't picking up so great. It's much more muted in real life. I don't know why it's not. Oh well. It's a kind of denim blue, more or less. It's Lamana Merida, wool and silk blend, and this is the Isair alpaca, 100% alpaca. and together they knit up in a very subtle marl, which I do love, and it's very squishy and nice. I think I'm really gonna love to wear it, and I think I will make a very simple, relatively fitted cardigan. One more thing to show you is my fabric haul. I adore these colors. They are a lightweight ribbed knit fabric. Those two here, the black and the blue. It's a bit more muted. The blue is really not picking up correctly on camera. I'm sorry for that. If I hold it a bit further back, it's better. That's better, like this. So the blue and the black one are, I can look it up because I still have the check. Yeah, it's the Meat Milk Tencel Derby Ribbed Jersey in black and dark navy. I have used that fabric before. It is quite lightweight. It holds its shape well for a tencel, and also it drapes really lovely. So that's these two. And the other one, I just wanted a spring color. I mean, I'm all for, I don't know, my basic color palette, which is a lot of dark gray, black, and navy blue, and white. I have a lot of t-shirts that in some way fit into that category, but I also have a few complementary colors, if you will, and this is gonna be one of them. But still, neutral enough. It's a kind of, what was it called? Does it say? Apricot. Yeah, that's fitting, I would say. And I think it's a good color for me. I, for the longest time, thought I was much too pale to wear colors like that. But actually, I think it's just fine. And also, there is no match your fabrics to your teint police, so who cares? I love the color. It's a bit of like this peachy color and also a bit beige. Yeah, and these are gonna be very simple knit t-shirts. I will have to figure out a way how I can share my sewing plans with you. I mean, it's pretty easy with Ravelry, but I don't know yet about sewing. I'll figure it out. Let's have a look at my Ravelry queue. I am pulling it up right now. First up, I'd like to do the Maggie cardigan by Petite Knit. This is gonna be a real wardrobe staple, navy blue in the Lamana Merida and the Iceair Alpaca. I think I will love to have this in my closet. Also, I found out I love tiny scarves. Who knew? And so I want to make the Minou scarf by Luisa Rekopf. And I have yarn in my stash for it. Also, for a long time, I wanted to learn how to do mosaic knitting, and my favorite pattern is the Mare shawl by Natasha Hornby. I have the pattern, I just have to start. Also, in the category New Designers, the Vest The Delight by Manmi Choi. I really would like to make myself a vest, and this looks gorgeous in my mind. Also, this vest, I'm Yoki 2 by Julia Park. How gorgeous is it? I love both of them, and also I would like to do a cabled pattern that isn't too common, but the stitch count is terrifying. Also, I would like to do some summer knits. I'm really bad at summer knits. And I love the Stromboli by Caitlin Hunter. I saw so many lovely pie camisoles by Nabita Chouré, probably. And I love them. Stitch count, again, terrifying. The Urium top by Eggio Knit should be more achievable. I also have yarn for it. Keeping my fingers crossed that it's happening this year. Also, this one, you guys, I love it so much. The Tuileries Polo by Sumin Kim. I love it. But again, the stitch count, challenging, if we want to put it that way. Okay, so next up, I'd love to do a cabled cardigan. I really would. But I thought I would like to do a pattern that isn't so well known. Maybe the Diamond Aran cardigan by Hello Hygge. I think it's lovely. I already own the pattern. It is so well written. Like, honestly, you guys, it really is. And also, I love the Athens cardigan by Manmi Choi. I mean, they are both gorgeous. And the Athens cardigan also has a V-neck version, but with a stitch count of, I think, 24, which might be a lot in a cabled cardigan. I don't know yet. And it also depends on whether or not I will make a cabled vest, I guess. Also, I wanted to knit the Spot sweater by Anne Wenzel forever. I have yarn for it. I started out, didn't like my contrast yarn, I stopped. I still do not have the contrast yarn, but since the Spot cardigan was released, which did spark my interest in the whole thing again. So that might just happen, we will see. Also, I would really need some fingerless mittens. But that is just a garment I'm not so excited about, I guess, and so that didn't happen so far. Also, I have been wanting to make an origami shawl, like forever. And I collected a selection of my favorite origami shawl patterns. I love the Barbara shawl by Gregoria Fibers and also the photography shawl by Christina Vilimaite. I prefer the pattern on this one, but I think it's triangular shaped and I usually don't know how to wear triangular shawls. So, not so sure about that. I also love the Erogami by Rastus Su, if that's how you say it. I think it looks lovely. And also the Origami Shawl by Marchie Keeper. I think this was one of the first origami shawls that was out there. And it might be a tad too big for me, I guess, but it looks so nice. And also the Tiehua cowl by Rastus Su again. And yeah, I would have to figure out how to make a scarf out of it. I don't really do cowls, I have to say. Yeah. But I also like the Joy Scarf by Alex Collins Designs. So, a lot of options. We will see what is going to happen in the near future. Usually, when I do these cues, I have to say, as I said, I'm a slow knitter, and then when the seasons change, my plans change too, and stuff gets put on hold for when autumn arrives again. So we will see what is going to happen. But I think it will give you an impression of what patterns I'm interested in and what kind of styles I like. And yeah, so my plans. Thank you so much for watching. It was really lovely spending time with you today. I really enjoyed myself, and one final sip of coffee from my favorite mug. Coming up in my next episode is, at least that's what I would love to do, but I still have to figure out a feasible way of how to do it. I would like to show you what I have handmade, what garments I made over the past years that are still part of my closet and capsule wardrobe today. That I would really love to do it, but it's a full-blown closet of clothes. So I don't know yet how I could do that, but I am really keeping my fingers crossed that I come up with some idea I would just love to show you. So you would really make my day if you clicked subscribe and came back to my third episode. I would love to talk to you again. Have a great day and see you soon. Bye.